Hello, and welcome back to the Common Connected podcast. I'm your host, Janine Halloran, and today's podcast is all about negative to positive self-talk. So a lot of times people can have this negative inner monologue that's going on. It might be because of things that people have said to them, and it just plays over and over in your mind. Or it could just be the negative thoughts that you have about yourself. So that can all sort of be considered negative self-talk. So it's the things that you have inside of your mind that just play over and over and over again. And I see this a lot with my clients, especially my teenage clients who are struggling with dealing with anxiety and depression. They have this negative self-talk that is always sort of happening in there. It's like this tape that keeps playing for them, and they can't seem to figure out how to change it. So I like to talk with my teen clients and any client who's really struggling with negative self-talk about ways that they can change their negative self-talk into positive self-talk. There are two main strategies that I use when I'm dealing with negative self-talk. I have the client imagine if a friend was saying these things that they are saying to themselves, what would you say to your friend? What would you do if your friend was saying this about herself or himself? How would you react? And usually when I say that, they think, oh gosh, I would never let my friend talk about themselves like that. And so then I put the question to them, well, why would you allow yourself to talk negatively if you wouldn't let your friend talk negatively? Also, would you say those things to a friend? The things that you're saying to yourself, would you say to a friend? So having people think about how you would react if you heard your friend saying this, or having people think, would I ever say that to my friend? Would I ever put those words out there if they were, because they're so negative and they're so nasty? Would you ever say that to somebody? So why would you say that to yourself? So sort of trying to reframe it using friends as a reference is really helpful. The second thing is actually a physical strategy where you actually physically write down all the negative thoughts that are going on in your head, all the negative things that maybe people have said to you when you can't get it out of your brain, or things that you say to yourself, things that negative thoughts that you have about what you can or can't do. You fold a piece of paper in half and you put all those negative thoughts on one side of the paper. And on the other side of the paper, you come up with positive, more resilient ways of looking at yourself, the positive aspects of who you are. And it's a way to sort of rewrite and reframe those negative thoughts into more positive thoughts, which is fantastic. And so once you've gone through that exercise, and that can be really helpful to even just write down all those negative things that are going through their brain, and then coming up with positive rebuttals or statements that can replace those negative thoughts. And then the most powerful piece of this is when you're done, you tear the paper in half, and then the negative thoughts, you destroy those. So you rip them up, you shred them, you tear them into tiny little pieces, do whatever you can to sort of obliterate those thoughts and get rid of all those thoughts, and then put them in the trash and move on. And then with the positive ones, even if you don't believe they're all true, you take those positive thoughts and you put it on your mirror, or you put it someplace where you can see it every day. So it helps you start to internalize those positive thoughts that you have about yourself, even if you don't believe them all at the beginning, because it's really hard if you've been thinking about all these negative things to think all these positive things about yourself. But if you start to use these affirmations on a daily basis, you start to look at them, it will help internalize those positive thoughts and being able to replace those negative with those positive thoughts. The goal is we want our kids to be resilient. We want our teens to be resilient. We want them to look at the positive aspects of their life instead of always replaying the negative things that are going on. I'd love to hear from you and hear how you switch from negative to positive thoughts. So feel free to email me at calm@janinehalloran.com. If you like this podcast, please subscribe so you'll get notified every single time it comes out. And I believe right now we are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. And one last thing, as always, please take care of yourself, have some fun, and have an awesome day.